Streaming services have revolutionized the way people consume television content. However, these platforms are facing an unprecedented crisis in their history, raising questions about the future of streaming. Netflix played a pivotal role in this revolution. Founded in the 1990s, its revolutionary effects were only widely felt starting in the 2010s. Netflix allowed people to watch series, movies, cartoons, and documentaries whenever and wherever they wanted, eliminating the need to adhere to broadcast schedules and fixed programming. This brought unprecedented freedom to entertainment consumption. However, Netflix's seemingly unstoppable dynasty may be facing significant challenges. Last year, the company recorded its first loss of subscribers in over a decade, surprising everyone and signaling deeper issues. Netflix transformed the way TV shows were produced, opting for shorter seasons with simultaneous episode releases. This resulted in a promise of higher quality in both production and writing. Other companies followed suit, creating original content to attract and retain subscribers. However, the explosion of original productions brought challenges. Many recently released series are questionable in terms of quality, raising doubts about whether the pursuit of profit is compromising content quality. Market saturation has also become evident, with multiple platforms competing for the same audience. Furthermore, key points that initially attracted consumers to streaming, such as freedom of choice and affordable prices, seem to be under threat. As the market becomes more competitive, consumer concerns about the quality and cost of the service become more prominent. I believe you are aware that affordable prices have become a thing of the past, right? There are reasons for this, including one that was inevitable and somewhat positive in light of market growth, the emergence of several other streaming platforms. In 2015, Netflix was practically synonymous with this type of service because, although there were other competitors at the time, they were nowhere near as relevant as the on-demand giant. However, a few years later, in the transition from the 2010s to 2020, a flood of new platforms emerged, including major ones like Disney+, HBO Max, Paramount+, Star+, and many others that joined Netflix, Amazon Prime, and other existing services. With this considerable number of options, it was inevitable that prices would rise. Netflix's standard plan, which used to cost half the price, now stands at $9.99. There is also a cheaper plan at $6.99, but it includes ads, which represents a regression since you are paying for a service that was previously ad-free. The premium plan, on the other hand, costs $19.99. Therefore, it becomes evident that the cost-benefit ratio is no longer the same as before. Subscribing to Netflix and Disney+, for example, would require a minimum monthly expenditure of $40, unless you are willing to accept ads. Furthermore, even on major platforms, the catalog is often filled with series and movies of questionable quality. Besides the cost issue, consumer freedom has also been affected. Sharing your Netflix account with friends or people who do not live in the same residence has become prohibited. Now, a Netflix account is linked to a residence, and only residents of that residence can access the app from anywhere in the world, provided that the primary source of internet is the subscriber's residence. Although this initially generated some controversy, it seems that this measure has been successful, and Disney intends to adopt a similar approach. However, this action has taken away subscribers' freedom to share their accounts with whomever they wished. All these changes have occurred because the crisis has reached the streaming platforms. An article from the renowned American entertainment website Vulture described that the streaming sector is facing its worst moment in history. Thus, the entire model that streaming helped disseminate seems to be broken. According to Blueberry, the profits of major streaming companies have dropped drastically, an undisputed decline of 90% compared to the last decade. In 2013, these major companies earned around $23.4 billion, but now the combined profit is only $2.6 billion. These numbers are alarming, especially considering that the platforms themselves are reducing their content libraries to pay lower taxes. One of the reasons for these declining profits is the exorbitant spending that companies are making on television series. In the past, series budgets were more modest, but today they are as large, if not larger, than those of film productions. For example, the Amazon adaptation of The Lord of the Rings, the series cost $400 million for its first season, and it is expected to have at least 3 more seasons. This series has become the most expensive in Amazon's history, but despite high initial viewership, it failed to maintain viewer interest until the final episodes. In this scenario, Amazon and other companies in the industry are seeking answers as to why their billion-dollar investments in original series are not yielding satisfactory results. One possible explanation is that the quantity of content has far exceeded the quality. Furthermore, Netflix eliminated its most basic plan, the one that included ads, in countries like the United States and the United Kingdom. This resulted in higher costs for subscribers, thus increasing the company's profits. It's worth noting that Netflix faced a loss of 1 million users in the first 3 months of 2023 in Spain, reflecting the challenges the platform is facing. Another example is Max, the Warner Bros. Discovery streaming service, which is going through a turbulent period. The platform changed its name to simplify its identity and reach audiences of all ages. However, in the United States, where the change has already taken place, the initial results were not positive. Between April and June 2023, Warner Bros. Discovery lost over 1.8 million streaming subscribers, a 68% increase in cancellations compared to 2022. Finally, the crisis is also affecting Disney, which has been directly impacted by its streaming service, Disney+. The failure of Disney+ is more real than many imagined when it was launched. Now it's time for a critical evaluation. Disney is undeniably the most famous entertainment company on the planet, with a vast portfolio of valuable brands under its control, including classics with almost a century of existence, such as Cinderella, Snow White, Mickey Mouse, Iron Man, Star Wars, and many other famous names from fictional universes. When Disney Plus was launched, it was expected to dominate the competition, especially Netflix, given the wealth of content available, spanning classics and modern productions. However, optimistic expectations did not materialize. Disney's corporate balance sheet for the second quarter of 2023 recorded a loss of $460 million. 2 justifications are being pointed out for this unfavorable result. First, the company is facing a deep crisis of creativity, relying excessively on remakes and derivatives, such as the recent attempts with The Little Mermaid and Indiana Jones, both with mediocre box office performance and mixed audience reception. Secondly, Disney Plus lost an incredible 12 million subscribers from the first to the second quarter of this year, which is an alarming sign. To reverse this situation and increase its revenue and profit, Disney is considering raising subscription prices in the United States, a measure that may be replicated worldwide. However, the loss of subscribers is not the only issue affecting the profitability of the streaming service. In fact, the biggest challenge is overspending on content that does not provide the expected return. This reflects a situation similar to what the Amazon Entertainment division has faced. Additionally, even with billion-dollar investments, Disney lacks a release that captivates the audience, both on the cinema screens and on Disney+. Many experts argue that the company is starting to cut expenses, indicating a shift in focus toward creativity rather than short-term user growth. Streaming platforms have spent billions building robust catalogs filled with titles, but they are now realizing that this model may not be sustainable. In summary, streaming services are facing a dilemma. They need to increase their profits while facing pressure to cut expenses and, at the same time, avoid alienating customers with exorbitant prices. The streaming revolution has reached its peak, and now it's time to evaluate whether it was a beneficial or detrimental revolution. This is the question you can share in the comments.